pulled up this video, this podcast. There's a lot of questions in my head. There's a lot of like challenges that I'm trying to figure out solutions for. I got into this podcast episode that I've never seen. I got no views either, I don't think. But let's lock in, man. Let's watch this video.
Employed are more driven, if I'm honest. Just work as hard as you can and you'll be rewarded for it yourself.
I say be wary of the hours, set some boundary standards from the start because it gets easier.
I'm going to be launching a booking software here soon to compete. I think it's going to be the best booking software in the world. I partnered up with two very intelligent individuals who had a lot of the work already done. And we've come together because I was working on an app myself. I was coding one. This is an app that I coded. And this is not new, but I made this to invest into options. I coded this from the ground up. Nonetheless, we're going to be competing, and I just got to get familiar with what's going on because I've always just used my own booking apps, but I know there hasn't been a solution out there for what I'm trying to build, what I'm trying to do.
On low sort of hours, they're going to look at a 12-week reference
Can you guys hear it on Instagram? Let me know.
period. Average out what hours you've done over those 12 weeks, and then you'd have to provide guaranteed hours for the next block of 12 weeks, which is frightening, isn't it, really?
What would be a red flag for someone recently going self-employed?
Hi, welcome to the Noble Barber Podcast. I'm Anthony Laban, and we'll be talking to various people in the industry who've made it and their journey and how they got here. Talking honest, cutting through the crap, and making sure your story and their story is heard to help your business and hopefully mine. If you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button, and I hope you enjoy this episode.
We are here at Barber Connect on the Modern Barber stage, the business stage, and we are talking about freelance, about self-employed, about employed versus self-employed. Definitely one of the kind of queries that comes up with us on the podcast. We see our industry has over 80% self-employed workforce, but I still have lots of conversations about people, about their tax situation, about the legality of it. And I think with the way the wind blowing, everyone is starting to believe that Her Majesty's Revenue and Customs are going to put a little bit more scrutiny on the freelance sector. So I'm here today joined by Samuel Bartoletti, who is a freelancer, Carl Foster, founder of Mr. Barber, 15 stores, all self-employed workforce, and Andy Boyd.
Hold on, man. Hold on. And do y'all not know the way that I've struggled with people overseas to understand that boomerang can work? And if I started in overseas, I would kill it. I already know I would. And I know it's something different and something new over there, but I have so much conviction. I've been there, I've seen it. Like it's a no-brainer. And so to see this man have 15 locations, congratulations. That's phenomenal, man. Good for you, bro.
From Irwin Mitchell, lawyer, legal firm, an employment lawyer. So thank you very much for coming and spending a couple of hours surrounded by barbers. Appreciate it.
I like it.
I wanted to really talk about kind of why. Why have you gone down the self-employed route? What are the pros? What are the cons against? Why, I guess, is my start point. Carl, in 15 stores, you're doing it right.
Well, yeah, we seem to be doing it right. I mean, for me, basically, I've always been self-employed since I left school.
Yeah.
The barbershop I worked in, they were self-employed. I went self-employed. From that, I then opened my first store when I was 21, so it's 30 years old this year. And then we're just a platform now for barbers to ply their trade. So, rather than people work out their garage or, which we've found as well in COVID, let's be honest, everybody works out their blooming garage or their back bedroom or whatever. We just give a platform for barbers to be able to ply their trade. They're self-employed. Work as hard as you can and you'll be rewarded for it yourself. That's the key, really.
Excellent. And Sam, why the freelance route for yourself?
I think I don't regret any time being employed because I think it created and shaped who I wanted to be as a singular or as a brand moving forward. And I think being self-employed has allowed me to have that flexibility, let's say, of creating and setting my vision, doing my hours, my prices, my services the way I always envisioned them to be. So I think self-employed is kind of giving me that opportunity, and of course.
Good for you, brother. Westwood said he's on IG commenting. He said, How come some owners are afraid that their stylists and or barbers continue to grow cautiously, clientele and skill-wise? It's the current experience I'm living in at the salon I work at. Yeah, I've been there. This is what motivated us to start the barbershops that I built with my team, because I was under like an ownership where it's like they want to see you win, but not too much, and it's like, yo, you lose people like me, you lose people like Tito, you lose go-getters, good people who make your life easier. To be honest, if I didn't have guys like Nate, like Dre, like Tito, like Jordan, like if we didn't have those guys on our team, life wouldn't be this easy, you know. Like, and I don't mean this easy. These guys work their asses off, and I work my ass off too. But collectively, we build a bigger pie. You know what I'm saying? And I just think that most shop owners, they become shop owners because they were very successful individuals, and they still have that individualism mentality at the end of the day because they never built skill sets beyond that individual business model behind the chair. They just got booked up, they got bread now, and like, oh, might as well open a shop. But they didn't learn how to build a team, how to lead, how to market for multiple people. Like, you can get yourself booked, but can you get 111 barbers booked? You know what I mean? Like, figuring that out's a whole different level.
It's much more simple, I think, to decide from a tax position whether you're employed or self-employed, but then you move to employment and you're freelance and genuinely self-employed. You might be in that sort of freelance worker, or you might be a genuine employee. So actually, there'll be a lot of indicators, which obviously you guys will be trying to make sure that you're ticking all those boxes to ensure that your staff or you working as a genuine self-employed person. As you've raised, the VAT man is probably the biggest concern for.
That's a big concern here in the States as well. Like, do you know the amount of barbershops that are operating commission shops and they're treating their barbers like they're employed, but they're breaking the law? You know, like if somebody's a 1099, you can't treat them like an employee. And I also think that the interpretation of the laws for a lot of people is skewed. They think they have less rights than they do. You know, some people who have 1099 commission barbers think they have less rights than they do. And then, you know, people who run booth rent shops, 1099 booth rent shops, they think they have less rights than they do. As long as it's 1099, it's the same rights, whether it's commission or booth rent. Now, if you want to tell people what to do, if you want to be their boss, you need to put them as a W-2. And there's a avatar that is attracted. There's a certain type of barber who's attracted to that W-2 opportunity. They're good with making a $20 hourly wage plus tips, or not even. What am I talking about? $10, $15, $12, minimum wage plus tips, but they get health benefits. They're good with that. And like for me, like a healthy barber as an individual, you can get the best insurance out there for $200 a month. For literally your first tip of the day, just save it and you'll be able to pay for your insurance. Just a tip. I'm not even talking about what you charge for the haircut. But a lot of people don't know that, so they put a lot of value in health benefits and stuff like that, right? So some people value stability more than opportunity, more than higher ceilings, right? And that's okay. There's a certain type of barber that does that, and that's why Great Clips is successful. Sports Clips is doing amazing. But there's also a lot of turnover in that, and there's a lot of unhappy people. And dude, there's a huge Facebook group on Sports Clips, and all I see all day in this damn Facebook group, let me show you, in this damn Facebook group, is people complaining about their damn job at Sports Clips. And no knock to Sports Clips. You know, like, I respect the business model, and I know there's people who love working there. But look at this, bro. It's called Sports Clips Shenanigans. You see it? And you can see, bro, people post anonymous, and they just be talking shit all day about their job at Sports Clips. But then, look, there's people who love it, and good for them. I love that for them. And they might be making some decent money, you know? You never know. So, but with that being said, like, if you hire somebody as a booth rent, a barbershop owner, or a 1099 commission shop owner, so these are independent contractors, right? You can lease them a booth, or get into contract with them. And as long as they agree with the terms, then you can hold them accountable for it. You can't threaten them with firing them because they're not your employees. But you could say, hey, man, you know, I don't know if I'm going to rent you a booth. I'm going to keep renting you this booth. If you just keep showing up whenever you want, when you told me these were the hours you were going to work, because that's the opportunity that I had. That was the agreement that we made. And you're not meeting your end of the bargain of the contract. And so I'm about to eliminate this contract. I'm about to eliminate this lease. Right? It's how you word it, you know, and as long as you're not telling people what to do, what they have to do before you, like when you hire them or after you hire them, you're good. Right. And there's also there's a right to the shop owner or to the business owner in protecting the business's best interests. So like it's without said that if you are publicly being a hindrance to the shop's brand and to the business and affecting it in a negative way, you can absolutely hold people accountable for that. So I know a lot of people don't realize that. I don't know about this podcast episode. It's a little bit slow. I don't know. Let's keep. I'm gonna keep trying though. I ain't giving up.
One in that situation.
Sure. So what I didn't mention in the beginning, Charlotte here is having a little rest. Oh, thank you very much, Charlotte, is our questionnaire. So she comes, if you want to ask a question, and I'm really hoping there's some questions out there, wave your hand at Charlotte and she will come and give you a mic. So we look forward for some questions, or you're just going to end up with just mine. So you've kind of covered a little bit, Carl, that you feel that people work harder. How do you control it? I mean, is there any control over a working day at Mr. Barber?
No, they can come in, they can do the hours they want to do. I mean, basically, you know, it's one of those things, and they're self-employed.
Breaking out, I don't know if I saw your first comment,
but they're still a team. Because at the end of the day,
and
you spend as much time
you're above it, right?
That work as you do at home. So why would you want to work? There's this thing where people say, oh, you know, self-employed, do what I want.
Bars. I'm listening.
But if you're an idiot, we don't want you in our shop, because you're only going to upset everyone else, and everyone else is going to leave, and we don't have any chair rent coming in. We haven't got business. Yeah. So we try to create a space that people are happy with.
Right now.
So, but yeah, they can have time off. Days off.
But and how do you cover kind of like the marketing and advertising website of the opening hours of the store, or is that all just done by their own booking systems?
You just put it in your fixed cost.
Yeah, it's all done by their own booking systems. They run their own column.
So as a shop owner, I like to have an umbrella above the barbers, because if they're not busy, I can't raise booth rent. I need my barbers to make a lot of money. That way we can raise their prices. That way I can raise my booth rent. That's how I make money. But as long as my barbers are making money and they're getting raises and they feel like they have a great platform and they're continuing to grow, then I can grow. And if you have an issue with that, then we just in the right place for you. Like, I don't need to look at what the next man is doing, what the next shop is doing. I need to see what my barber's goals are, and are we meeting them? And if we don't have that mutual, respect for one another, then it's okay. Go work at a different shop. But we run ads for our barbers. We run ads for our shops. We promote. We built a hell of a brand here in Tampa Bay. We're the biggest shop chain out here. And, our barbers, obviously, they see the benefit of it because we don't have a high turnover whatsoever. But imagine your barbers also run their booth rent because they keep the majority or all of their money, right? So it's beneficial on an individual level as well for them to, and we teach them how to do it.
Because especially when you start, you're like, I need to work the extra hour, make the extra effort to, of course, build our client base, but also to make more money. So I think it's fitting everyone last minute, open 7 days a week.
They be hustling.
I think like you do that at the start, but then eventually, 2 years in, kind of hits you like you want to kind of create that balance. So I think that's the tricky part, like setting hours.
I got you, bro.
And because of course you got everyone used to the fact that you're always available any time of the day, any time of the week. So it kind of gets tricky to then create that balance, stick to your hours, especially as you get successful.
Sure.
Sure.
I know if shit hits the fan here in America, I can go anywhere in the world, run the same play, and take over. I already know it. Like, I'm gonna put my whiteboard up. When you have booth rent, on average, I have 11 open locations. The shops that have been open for at least a year, they profit $100,000 a year. We're doing about, I think, 900,000. But the ones that have been open a year or more, they're doing about, on average, 100,000 in profit. Okay. But this is income that is passive. This is income that is stable. I've been through a recession. I've been through a pandemic. And with the booth rent shops, this is real. I've had barbers that have worked at our shops for a decade. Okay. When you go over to W2, right? Let me see. Is it W2 salary or W2 commission? I don't think you mentioned that. If it's W2 salary, you might make more money. I don't know. What's your shop profiting, right? If it's W2 commission, I don't think you're making more money than a 1099 booth rent shop, because you have to pay payroll tax. You have to, I'm assuming you have an accounting firm. I'm assuming you're not spending all that time doing this all yourself. And it's not even worth the risk of not being in compliance because you missed some reports or some quarterly or annual filings that you were supposed to do. You got to have insurance, right, for these people. You got to have benefits for these people, I'm assuming, if they're W2. If not, how do you even compete? How many chairs do you have? It's going to be real difficult to get 10 barbers to work at your shop with that model. I'm curious, why'd you switch? So there's a lot of questions there. But what I have found is after I put this through a spreadsheet, between all the fees and regulation and the time spent running a W2 shop, I'm good with just making $100,000 every single year for the rest of my life, each location. I have 3 leases signed next year. 3 leases. So by the end of next year, we will be at 15 locations. If I stop today, that's 1.5 million a year in profit. But man, tap in. Make sure you're following me on YouTube, on Instagram. I just started a TikTok. Look it up, Bossio6FB. But that's going to be more for self-employed. I'm going to target more so a broader audience, because the shit that we talk about for barbershops and salons, it works for any small business. It works for anyone who's self-employed, anyone who's an entrepreneur. And so I want to help everybody. I have an accounting firm called Pi Booking, and you know, we have over 300 clients, 28 employees, and our clients have different businesses. They're not just barbers and salon owners. So, you know, we can service a lot of people. We can help a lot of people. So thank you guys. Have a good night.